President Ilir Meta, Prime Minister Edi Rama, Parliament Speaker Gramos Rucci and Mayor Erion Veliai paid tribute at the Martyrs ceremony. Prime Minister Edi Rama said the government will support young people to work hard on innovative agricultural projects, not to sit and drink coffee. The head of Tirana's municipality, Erion Veliai, participated in an event to emphasise that greater unity amongst Albanians will help us to progress over the next 105 years. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Liberation Day, or Wednesday, the 29th of November 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, bringing you the day's national top stories, translated into English 6 days a week. President Ilir Meta, Prime Minister Edi Rama, Parliament Speaker Gramos Rucci and Mayor Erion Veliai paid homage at the Martyrs Cemetery for the 73rd anniversary of liberation. They placed floral wreaths near the Mother Albania monument to commemorate all those who gave their lives for the liberation of the country from the Nazi-fascist invaders. The SMI chose to pay their tributes a few minutes later after the official ceremony. The country's liberation date continues to be debated, leaving many politically divided. As the Socialists pay greater tribute to November 29, the Democratic Party reminded all that Martyrs' Day is a day before, on November 28th. Even this year, the image of dictator Enver Hoxha was held up by communists at the Martyrs Cemetery. With calls to the former dictator and banners in their hands, communists commemorated the country's Liberation Day after the official government ceremony. Prime Minister Edi Rama said he would raise funds for innovative youth projects related to agriculture. Rama said the money would go to those who have ideas, not the young people who expect work from the state while staying in a coffee bar. The money will be allocated to those young people with innovative ideas and the will to realise the projects, said Edi Rama. The Prime Minister also said that the government will financially support those farmers who work together by promoting joint production. We absolutely support farmers working together, said Edi Rama. In this panel, the head of Tirana's Chamber of Commerce, Nicolin Jaka, said that it is important to the industry that financing schemes are appropriate and are accessible to farmers. The funding scheme should be calculated fairly and accurately, said Jaka. At the Albania Works the Land Fair, the Prime Minister said that the government will work harder for agriculture by boosting agricultural development in next year's budget. In the budget discussion during Thursday's plenary session, the parliamentary group of the Democratic Party will present 16 amendments, which, according to Lulzim Basha, aim to focus the state's finances on the citizens and not on money laundering. Lulzim Basha stated that the opposition wants the money to go for free books, economic aid and salary increases. We want to move away the money from the oligarchs and give it back to the citizens, said Lulzim Basha. Basha said that in the amendments, he also demanded that the flat tax be returned to a proposed level of 9% and that VAT be decreased from 20% to 15%. This budget will be the final act by this government, said Lulzim Basha. This was said in the context that he believes the government should be overthrown after having raised awareness with citizens about the connection between the government and crime, said the Democratic leader. At the parliamentary session that will take place tomorrow, MPs will consider 3 amendments to the budget and fiscal package. At the last meeting, the Economics Committee approved some additional funds for the institutions while reducing the infrastructure budget by about 400 million lek. The session will include a proposal of 26 million lek extra for the Special Appellate Panel, 15 million lek for the Independent Qualification Commission and 33.8 million lek for the School of Magistrates. For the Ministry of Economy and Finance, an additional 270 million lek will be demanded of by the government, and the State Information Service has asked for a further 275 million lek for the purchase of equipment. For the Presidency, 30 million lek more is required, and for the Assembly, 14 million lek. By an amendment, the Commission also approved the removal of the excise tax on certain forms of liquefied energy, while the obligations for public-private partnership projects will go before the committee first before being approved. Another package of proposals containing 16 amendments will be submitted by the Democratic Party. The Blue headquarters will propose the following: a flat rate tax of 9%, a VAT reduction to 15%, The tax-free threshold for VAT for small businesses to be reduced to be increased to 12 million lek per year, the removal of the circulation tax to reduce the price of fuel, a greater increase to the fund covering wages, pensions, social assistance and the formerly politically persecuted, the provision of subsidies for farmers to the value of 15 million euros, and increases to wage and pensions at the same level of the electoral year, an increase of 20% of the Economic Assistance Fund, and finally, the provision for free books for children up to the 9th grade. Meanwhile, the Socialist Movement for Integration has 3 amendments that were not accepted by the Economics Committee. At the hearing, the SMI requested VAT reductions for basic foods from 20% to 5%, VAT exemption for businesses with annual turnover up to 5 million lek, and the removal of tax for first home owners. However, it will be the vote in Parliament that will give the final verdict on the state budget and the fiscal package. This evening, Skanderberg Square will play host to one of the biggest events in Tirana's annual calendar, the White Night celebrations. All cultural institutions in Tirana will remain open, while Skanderberg Square will be lit up by Scottish singer Emily Sandé. Entrance to the concert is free for all citizens. Celebrations for the White Night will continue until the early hours of the morning. The municipality of Tirana has taken all necessary measures for planning and executing the activities, as well as ensuring safety among citizens. More than 100 municipal police officers have prepared for the celebrations, while local authorities have called on citizens not to use fireworks. During the night, urbanised areas will be patrolled by police officers, as well as areas that have a large presence of pubs and bars, such as the former Block area. Albanian independence is being celebrated all over the world, a testament to just how far spread the Albanian community is. In the United Kingdom, under the care of our embassy, there was a ceremonial reception for Independence Day with our compatriots and other guests of honour. When it comes to the country's history and future, Albania's ambassador to the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland said the country's current challenge is EU integration. Albania is already a member of NATO with strong EU aspirations, said the ambassador. Of course, the same efforts for Euro-Atlantic and European membership are also being made by Kosovo. Independent Kosovo is making appropriate efforts on the Euro-Atlantic path, declared the ambassador. The national anthem was once performed at this celebration, and congratulations were received for the 105th anniversary of independence. After having stood on some of the best-known stages across Mexico, USA and Europe, Sebastián Torres Núñez and Débora Marino performed some of the most famous compositions of all time right here in Albania. Invited by the Honorary Consul of Mexico in Albania, Mr. Uli Ndroci, with the support of the Mexican Embassy in Rome, the artists delivered an emotional performance for the Albanian public through their music. Music is the best way to strengthen the collaboration between countries, and between Albania and the United States of Mexico, this has already become a tradition. This is the 3rd consecutive year that the Honorary Consulate of Mexico in Albania and the Embassy of Mexico in Rome have invited some of the best-known artists to perform for the Albanian public. With a carefully selected repertoire, baritone Sebastián Torres Núñez and pianist Débora Marino managed to touch the public's hearts while reminding us all that music easily melts the geographic borders between countries despite all distances. Bearing the slogan, "Riding Under a Flag," the municipality of Tirana, Enduro Albania and the MC Eagles gathered yesterday at the new boulevard on the occasion of Independence Day. The bikers from Albania and Kosovo, who put on a free show for all fans of motor vehicles, were excited to show off to the citizens. The head of the municipality of Tirana, Erion Veliaj, joined this event by emphasising that unity among people is the most important thing, and if Albanians unite, then nothing can separate us. Mayor Veliaj stated that instead of accusations and raising artificial obstacles to one another, the focus should be on working together and increasing collaboration. The question is not for the past 105 years, but for the next 105 years to come. If we spend the next 105 years wasting time, we will not move forward. But if the lessons we have learned in the past 105 years turn into lessons for the future, to be together, to work together as we are now, side by side, in every challenge, in every situation, united, well, then there is no God that could prevent Albanians from moving forward, said Erion Veliaj. After the show by a group of bikers from Kosovo and Albania, the present citizens were able to attend a music program and the supermoto race, where prizes were awarded to the winners at the end. Meanwhile, on the occasion of the 73rd anniversary of the liberation of the country, the municipality of Tirana organised a women's volleyball tournament between the Federation of Albania and Kosovo. That's all for our English edition this evening. My name is Alexandra. Please join me again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. On behalf of Ora News, Gazor Festet, thank you and good night.